Hey there, this is Rich. You're watching my YouTube channel where I play tabletop role-playing games with friends. Excuses ahead of time that my son is playing Xbox downstairs and he is loud. He does not have an inside voice, so occasionally you may hear him as he plays Forza, uh, like that. And so, yeah, just warning you ahead of time, preemptively, rather than yell at him. He's just going to get to play games because it's Easter Sunday for us. So we are playing a two-shot, two sessions of a game that is about to be published by me. It is a street-level supers RPG inspired by the likes of Daredevil. I almost said Iron Fist, but it really wasn't inspired by Iron Fist. Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Black Lightning, Luke Cage. So, the Marvel Netflix series and one of the CW shows is basically kind of the inspiration that gave me the idea for this. I took the base core mechanics of one of my favorite games of all time, One Percenter, which is about an outlaw biker gang, and I really enjoyed those mechanics, and I thought it would work pretty well for the idea of a low-level, street-level supers team. In fact, I've taken pains not to have the word superhero describing any of the player characters in the game. Um, Also, no capes, even though jokingly your vigilante name is known as a cape name. And the last piece that I try to use to make it distinct from your average everyday superhero game, well, not last thing, but another important thing is nobody can fly. None of the player characters or superpowered beings, SPBs, have the ability to fly. If you want to get around, you can sling or fling. You can jump really far, but the idea of just going up into the air and flying away from your problems is not something that you can do. The game system is relatively simple in that you have a number of aspects to your character and not aspects like fate that you use to build a die pool whenever something is at stake or whenever a conflict arises. You grab a fistful of six-sided dice, or in our case, you go to a cool website that has dice abilities, or also, if that website doesn't work for you, you then roll dice. It's recursive. You roll those and you're looking for evens. However, so I, as the game manager or GM, would set a difficulty that is needed. But there's a tweak. So if there is a moment of high stress, where you are putting yourself at risk for physical, social, or emotional harm, then I could say that tension is in effect for the roll. The roll happens the same way as before, except that you're still looking for evens, but all of the ones that you roll will cause you to lose spark, which is kind of like your hit points if you're thinking about more conventional RPGs. Now, you can still succeed at something because you got a certain number of evens, but those ones will hurt. So you paid a price for that success. And the spark is interesting because not only is that effectively your hit points, if you run out of it, you can no longer be super until you recover it, but you can also spend that spark to get yourself or to help out one of your teammates and give them extra dice. That's the short version. There are other little things that are going on, which we'll tackle as we get into it. We are one full step into the overall creation of the characters team and the world, in that off camera, Terrigen and Adam, number one, have all created their SPBs up to the point of introducing them to each other. And so we are starting at that point. Who would like to introduce their SPB first?
I'll go first.
All right.
So my name is Adam, and I'm playing the geek, who goes by he, him. His birth name is Hank. He owns a friendly local gaming store, but he fails as a business person in that the store is not making any money, at least not very much money, and he is only really staying afloat because he is beloved by the community. Let's see here. He has a 3 in B normal and a 1 in B super. He has a 3 in heart and hands, a 2 in feet and tools, and a 1 in head and jaw. He has an armband computer for linking into and hacking any network he can get access to, which he lovingly calls Sheila. And he is highly trained in that the geek is a former security analyst and knows all the ins and outs of digital security.
Nice. Now you have to backronym Sheila at some point.
Of course.
Because that's just delightful.
I'm working on it. It's in the queue.
Acronym periods, so that means I'm excited to see what that could stand for. Thank you so much, Adam. I really appreciate you being the first to volunteer. I know your name starts with A, so you're probably used to going first quite a bit. So thank you for stepping up. Just follow that as our trend. Jen, would you please introduce your character?
Huzzah. All right. I am playing Threads, is the cape name. Her birth name is Chris Coates. Chris is a textile sciences student and also works part-time as a seamstress at the local dry cleaners. As you might guess from her cape name, she has the ability to control fabric. She also has a sort of highly tuned fabric sense, being able to detect where any fabric is near her and its general composition without even looking at it. She's pretty good at talking and utilizing tools. Her B normal is a 1 and her B super is a 3. So
Pretty good super, huh?
Pretty super. She's focused on her powers, even if she does try to sort of sneakily weave it into her regular life.
Is her plan textile science? Does she want to get into the fashion industry or to actually get into textile manufacturing? I'm kind of curious where she's going with it.
I do think that she wants to get into textile manufacturing. I don't know if she necessarily has that artistic confidence to want to get into fashion and design, but when it comes to construction and prototyping, there's nobody better.
That's really cool. That's fascinating. This is totally a comic I would try out if I saw it on the rack. Threads, the mini series before you're introduced to the team. Is the Threads mini. I love it.
Yep.
Tara, last but not least. Used to being last because you first name starts with a T, I'm sure, or near the end. So please introduce us to your character.
Sure. So I do want to give a word of warning. I have 3 dogs. And one is a 6-month-old puppy. So just now they've been quite rambunctious. I let them out. So hopefully I can get through this without too much barking. So I am playing Shroud. She's always been that smart kid in class, sort of a loner when she was younger. And so she's just hanging out at night by herself, as one does when they have nothing else to do because they have no friends. And she saw a spaceship crash. She touched some of the goo and it changed her. So now she has the power to peer into people's minds and see their memories and shroud what memories she wants to. She also has the ability to teleport and move through shadows. She's really colorful, rainbow hair on one side. But when she uses her shadow powers, it actually goes black. So as we were talking before, her daytime personality is really the bright one. She currently works at a like a great escape room sort of a thing, dreaming up and creating new escape room situations for people to go through. Her normal is 1, her super is 3. Her head and feet are 3. Her jaw and tools? Her jaw and tools are 2, and her heart and hands are 1.
She's heartless? Okay.
She's not heartless. She's just sort of like not. And Shad goes by they them. So
Okay. That was one of the questions I wanted to ask because I saw
yeah.
it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and it's not that they're not heartless. They just don't care that much about that.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that it was a crashed ship.
Mm-hmm.
Did Shroud see anything that would confirm it was an alien ship, or is that just the assumption, like the fair assumption, but the assumption that they made because of weird goop and crash the ship?
They were about to go into the ship when all of a sudden a bunch of like if this was the Marvel Universe, it'd be Shield, but some sort of military organization like surrounded the ship, and that's when they figured out they can move through shadows because they wanted to escape. So they just did it because it was nighttime, and all of a sudden, boom, they were back in their room. It was very disjointing. The first
I would imagine so. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That is great, and I love how nice and vague that is. And now we've got a Sheila and we've got a Shield. These things please me. So we're now going to kind of work through the process in Hit the Streets, the game. Once you've introduced and created your character, then we talk a little bit about, sorry, I'm spinning through. Oh, we each need to roll a d6 and add 6, and that is your starting spark. Spark is on line 28 of the character keeper.
Sorry, where's the die rolling website again?
I am so sorry. Let me relink that to you. It is right there. It's roll for your party, obviously accepted beer. And I did not pick that just for you, Adam.
I am extremely average, and I got a 9.
Okay, 9's good. And it looks like Jen rolled a 5.
It did.
And Adam rolled a 5 as well. So that's a pretty good amount of starting things. Good job. Now, if you guys go to the tab in the Google Character Keeper for Teams Formation, the first thing you need to do is, we need to figure out a team's name and your purpose. The purpose, of course, can be something that you guys come up with, but some of the suggestions, if you're stuck, are secret guardians. You all live locally, have secret cape names and protect your homes. Heroes for hire. Some guild of local businesses pay you, reward you in some way. Kind of like cops. You aren't officially on the police squad, but it's close, like authorized vigilantes, totally off the books. The tryhards are former sidekicks. Your young do-gooders trying to make an impression on bigger teams, like a group of minor leaguers in baseball. The atoners, ex-villains, trying to improve the lives of folks who once hurt, or retirees. You're too old for this crap. Somebody has to get things done and around here. By the way, get off your collective lawns. Those are suggestions, but you feel free to come up with whatever team purpose feels like what you guys want to, why you're together or why you first got together, what you want to accomplish.
Well, we're all pretty big in the local community, business community. Is there something we can weave through that?
We did that because of threads. Sure. What do you guys think about that? About the idea of being
Local entrepreneurs?
Like, what if, for instance, there was a string of robberies, let's say, at some point, maybe a year ago, a year and a half plus ago, and it hit all of our stores. And so individually, we all decided, well, that just won't do. And we went out trying to figure it out. And then we were like, hey, you, what's up with this?
Sounds awesome. So let's say if I'm trying to figure out about this robberies, because that might be in your rival game, which would be a step coming up just a little bit
Sure.
here. Cool.
Guess that
Okay.
makes us secret guardians.
I think so. Secret Guardians is what you guys are. I used to have that as a drop down. For some reason, I took it out. I will fix that. Okay, so we know what brought you guys together, which was the robbery. So recently, a year ago. So among your team, let's do the team name. So what's your team name? Oh, if you feel stuck, I've got 2 tables that you can roll on if you want to roll for your team name. It is on page 20 of the book. You just have to roll 2d6. All dice in this game are 6-siders. You guys want to roll for it, or do you want to? And again, the team name could be what the press calls you, and maybe you don't love it, or it could be a team name that you came up with together. What you leave as a calling card. I don't care. There are lots of options.
Hmm.
I feel like there should be something good considering our names are like Shroud, Thread, and Geek. I just feel like there should be something there. I don't know. Anybody have anything?
The Prismatic Guardians.
Sure.
I really like that, and I'm actually sticking prismatic in the colors. It's too big. I'll take out. I put brown in there as a joke. Maybe I'll take brown out.
You should probably take brown out.
But
Nobody's going to use it. They'll all laugh.
The brown hornet was awesome. Okay, anyway.
Hmm.
Prismatic Guardians. That's what you guys are. Who calls the shots?
I want to say Hank is probably the oldest, and he's probably the de facto leader. Just by virtue of the fact that he's read so many comic books where there is a leader, and he's like, I know how it all works. But as was established, he's a terrible businessman, so it's not like he's necessarily a great leader. He's just the leader.
It's one of those where who calls the shots, who really calls the shots. Yeah. Who causes the most trouble?
Hmm.
Do you have a troublemaker amongst you?
I don't think Shroud means to cause trouble.
Okay, so Shroud.
But I don't think she means to. She might, though. I don't know. I haven't figured it out.
It doesn't say who causes the most trouble on purpose. It's who causes the most trouble. And I think Shroud seems like the right answer here. Do you know each other's secret IDs, or is it cape names only?
Oh,
Does anybody have a preference?
I think we all know each other.
I think we all know each other.
Good.
We all work at these local businesses.
Yeah,
We
okay.
figure it out eventually. It's kind of
Yeah.
insulting to try and pretend.
Who can everyone rely on when the chips are down?
Either Threads or, well, I guess any of us, really.
I think it's Threads.
I
I think that she's remarkably steady.
I like it. Where do you guys meet up at night before patrolling?
The FLGS. Come on.
Yeah.
What's the point of
I
having
agree with that.
a brick
I
and
agree with
mortar?
Do you have a name for your FLGS? Is it literally called FLGS?
It's got to be called something else. Come on.
Oh,
Think about that in the back of your mind, but we're going to open with a scene in it at some point. Who has a beer with whom after a successful mission? And this is usually a question for like larger teams, but if there's anyone who would abstain from going out for beers after a successful mission, so just say so.
I feel like nobody would say no.
Yeah,
All right.
no.
Cool.
Speaking of which, what's our local watering hole?
Yeah, well, we will define that when we get to maps, because that is definitely a thing we need.
I have an awesome name for one.
Oh, you do? Awesome.
I do.
Good.
Okay, let me share with you our our little Google mapping thing, and then I'm going to screen share it so we can all look at it together. And by all, I mean Adam Mini, who will be joining us next week.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, here we go. So we are doing the step called "Where Are You?" or your neighborhood information. I really like this piece. So let's just go get it from the thing. Alrighty. So I have drawn Main Street. So we're not going to use a predefined map because I want to create a map. So we will go. We're going to go Adam, Jen, and oh yeah, great question. The last question: how do you guys get your missions?
I mean, police scanner?
Well, I am a hacker. I could hack into the police network to find out what's getting dropped.
That's good.
Yeah, also, he might have to if our area has gone to fully digital scanner broadcasting.
Nice.
I actually did some research on how to use police scanners, and the answer is it's actually kind of complicated.
Huh. I did not realize that. All right, so now what we do is we go around with each player taking a turn. Adam, you'll be the first. So you're going to draw a new line on the map because we are drawing our neighborhood. And that line should intersect with at least one of the existing lines. Right now we have Main Street. And then you add a name for that new street. Ostensibly, this will be the street on which your character lives. If you tick here, if you want to actually draw a line, you can with scribble. Otherwise, you can do a line or an elbow connector or a curve, however you like.
What's the thickness that you want for the substreets?
I just went with that thickness, so I figure that's the thickest of the streets because it's Main Street and everything else is just fine.
Cool. I'll do 3.
Okay, great. All right, so what's this? What's that one called?
Broder Street.
All right, cool. So let's...
Or Broder Road.
Broder, like that, Broder.
Yeah, perfect.
And then can you put a little box or something where you imagine the geek lives?
Okay. Let's see here.
You just do that by going with shape. You do that.
I think he lives right.
And don't worry, we will be creating the area where the escape room and the comic book shop and the seamstress shop is located. Ooh, what is that? An apartment complex, or does he have a big old house, or what?
I think he actually lives above the shop itself.
Okay, cool, sweet. I like it. Jen, you are next up. All you have to do is intersect either one of these two roads with your road. Caraway Street, huh? I like it.
There we go.
All right, and where is it that Threads lives? All right, Terry, you want to go ahead and start with your road while Jen finishes up her hacienda?
Okay. That was terrible. I meant to connect these two.
You can get a do-over. That's fine.
Yeah, you can fix your
That's
scribble. You can delete it. It's all good. So tell me a little bit about Thread's place. That's pretty big. Is it an apartment complex?
Yep, I think it is an apartment complex. Needs to have a really stereotypical name. You know what? I know exactly what it's named.
Arbor Pines is perfect. Probably seen a bajillion Arbor Pines in my life. I love it.
What I
Ogle
love is when they're called Arbor Forest, and I'm like, you fuckers.
tree.
Thanks, guys. I mean, technically, an arbor is a stand of trees.
Oglethorpe
Oglethorpe, yeah. Did I spell that wrong?
No. Reminds me of my old World of Warcraft orc. Horgathog.
She used to live somewhat near the edge of town because of her backstory. She was near a forest or near like some sort of at least woody outcropping. So she lives
cool.
sort of outskirtsy.
This is the end of Main Street, is what I'm hearing.
Nice. Cool. Oh, there she is. Wow, she is really out in the boonies. I love it. So, Adam, if you could, please, then next time around, what we do is you go around a second time and you can draw in at least one of the following neighborhood attractions where most folks work, like a factory, a string of shops outside the neighborhood. I think we're pretty close on defining that one already. A notable, just any one of these, a notable resident, a local faction of people, a landmark or defining place, or a gathering hangout. And that was one of the things you guys had mentioned, was the idea of some local watering hole.
So the watering hole that the watering hole that I have in mind, the hanged giraffe.
Well, just a giraffe with a rope around its neck. Like, what are you even trying to do? Guys, this isn't going to work.
Your crane is not that big. Funny enough, my hometown, which is a very small town, used to have a little coffee shop called the Hanged Elephant.
Nice.
Huh.
But it was not quite as silly because it was named after what my hometown is known for, which is hanging an elephant.
What?
Google it.
I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, an elephant trampled a couple people, and a local township had a legal case, and it was decided the elephant would be put down. And after shooting it many times and only making it angry, the decision was made that since my hometown is a heavy railroad town, that the cranes that are used to move cars would be used to hang the elephant by the neck until dead, dead, dead.
Wow.
Oh,
Kingsport, Tennessee. Kingsport, Tennessee.
That's where the court case happened. The actual work was done in Irwin, Erwin, Tennessee.
The work.
Oh, goodness.
Yep.
Can someone help me create a shop that sort of mirrors oppositely what the comic shop looks like, so they fit like puzzle pieces for the store for
Looks like
the
Evan's on it.
room?
We'll move the name of Hanged Giraffe over a little bit to give you some room. Until you get your room, and then we can always move it back. I've never played this live, but I really look forward to the point when I'll have like a big sheet of paper and people drawing on.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. Should we stick Hanged Giraffe on the other side of Main Street? Or do you think it works? It works. Oh, nice. You have like a parking lot here? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, well, we're a big attraction with the children's, the youth.
Oh, this has got to be Adam doing this because he's so good with this. The Utes.
The youth. They
Man,
enjoy.
I don't want to make deliveries into that alley. Goddamn.
Not too
Not
scary.
great. Not too great. Yeah. This is part of why the gaming shop has so many troubles, is because no delivery service will deliver it to the back door.
Well, I mean, as long as the back door is,
What if we had an
No.
alley here? Like, what if that was an alley?
sure.
Okay, you've got an alley there. Jen, go ahead and
But the door is still serviced in between the two buildings because one of
Yeah.
the buildings was added later.
My building was added later.
Hmm. I think I should probably comment on where most folks work
all right.
around here. Goodness.
Nice name. That's cool, Tara. Good
Yeah.
job.
Mind benders. Goodness.
Hmm.
What is doing that? Does everybody see that pink line in front of my face?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yes, it's a lighting artifact.
I have no idea what's doing that.
It's probably a reflection from some of your lights.
Yeah. Or lens flare or something like that.
Yep.
JJ Abrams is so happy.
Uh-huh.
That's not working. So what you think of Jen? Ooh.
Is this like a shopping mall? Like a
Hmm.
Police precinct.
Hmm.
so much is happening.
Wow, it's exciting. I'm changing the colors of people's homes so we can
There we
differentiate.
go. I don't know. I was kind of thinking maybe it's a furniture manufacturer.
Oh, neat.
So
Iron Case Furniture. I like it.
do I need to make a new road?
Do you wanna? Yeah, that'd be fun.
All right. Do
Tara, create a
Mhm.
new neighborhood feature.
Hmm.
And if you're stuck on what features are
No, I've
ideas
got,
for features,
I've got something. I'm just trying to figure out a shape for it. Let's.
while you're working on that shape, I'm going to circle back around and ask Jen, Iron Case Furniture, how is that furniture manufacturing? How's that factory doing? Is it doing well? Is it gangbusters? Does it have recent investment, or is it under threat? What is it?
I think that it's doing well for now, but it's a new construction.
Hmm,
Well, that ties in well to what I want to do next.
Cool.
nice.
I'm making a park.
Fun. I'm very happy you've made a park.
That ties in well to what I want to do next too.
It's mind meld. I love it. My rules are people think similarly. Look at the trees. That's gorgeous.
Looks like there's a baseball diamond in there.
That's actually a lake.
Oh. Or that.
I'm going to change the color of the homes since we now have a green. Oh. All right, cool. What you going to name your park?
Oh God, I have to come up with a name.
Lakeside Park.
What?
Lakeside Park.
The main park. That's cheap.
No, I like that.
Works
I
for
once
me.
lived next to a Central Park, which was not New York City.
But it was
Interesting.
central, wasn't it?
It was kind of central.
Oh,
Perhaps
Adam,
only in a historical sense.
I have to ask you a question because I recently played this game with a person who lives in Toronto. She revealed to us that in Canada, and I wanted to see if your part of Canada also has this thing, there are things called parquets.
Yeah, I'm aware of them, but I've never been to one.
Okay. I was just curious how common it might be. Awesome. So with Tara finishing up the park, what did you name it? Did you go with Main Park?
Yeah, let's go with Main Side Park. I don't know why, but Main Side.
Awesome.
Since it's on the side of Maine. People are literal here.
They are. We're learning so much about these people. So Adam, any last touches? You said you had an idea that you were thinking about?
Yeah, so I was just looking at your suggestion list, but this came to me before I actually had the suggestion. So I'm thinking we need a gentrification advocacy group.
Yeah.
And they're what's pushing for this revamping of this section of Main Street.
Sounds good to me.
I mean, if it's good for the economy, it's good for the locals, right? That's just common sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind the fact that the local businesses are barely paying rent.
Well, I mean, bringing more people with money into the area is absolutely what will solve that problem, right?
In theory.
Totally happens every time.
Yeah. Local businesses never go bust under those circumstances.
Never. They're never absolutely decimated and replaced with chains that then also fail. That's always my favorite part. Oh, so the landlord screwed over this mainstay staple business out of their rental contract so that they could bring in some chain from out of state that could pay a lot more rent, huh? Oh, that chain folded in 5 months? Oh,
What a shame.
what a fucking shame. And it is actually fun. This was a story in East Lansing that played out multiple times. It's like, oh wow.
That's terrible.
It
Terrible.
is. The worst part about that one, that was actually the story of the Blue Note Cafe. And the landlord who pushed out the Blue Note Cafe took advantage of the fact that English was not the business owner's first language.
Oh God, I hate stories like that.
Oh yeah.
That sucks. So Jen, did you have any other things you'd like to add to our neighborhood here?
Sure. Is there anything on our list that we don't have?
We don't have any notable residents. Anything else has been touched?
Well, I don't have an idea for that yet, but I definitely want to put where I work
Okay. I think you should.
someplace. And I feel like it should be next to the comic shop, but maybe it should be somewhere else.
Maybe across the street?
I mean, I think all of that is parking for the Iron Case plant.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
Um,
Like all of this is kind of parking. And again,
All
it's
of
not
that-
to scale. be multiple streets between them, but yeah, I kind of
Yeah,
like the
I
idea.
mean, there's just a certain amount of thinking. Whoa.
I was making a big parking lot. I don't know why, but you fascinated with me with the idea. So, giant parking lot. That's not a problem.
I have a video I can send you guys about parking in video game cities later, if you're interested.
I am.
I am immediately interested in this thing.
All right, I'm officially done with the park. Sorry that took so long.
All right. So with Jen sticking in where Threads works, is there anything you'd like to add?
Mm.
I'm really happy with my park. I'm good. I'm good.
I think it's adorable. I want to move in. I want to fish there, even though I don't fish.
Maybe there's a complex around Mainside Park, like on the other side, like one of those like tiki-tacker home complexes.
Tiki-tacker home complexes.
Yeah,
That was a weed reference, but you know, do you remember the opening song to Weeds? Anyway,
That was stuck in my head when I moved to suburbia.
yeah, you know, where every home looks the same. It's a planned complex.
Yep.
Now I'm gonna listen to that song later.
Sorry.
To-do list. No, that's good. Oh, it's little boxes. Okay. I thought that sounded familiar. That's one of Carrie's favorite songs. She's a big Peter, Paul, and Mary fan. And yeah. Cool. So you're saying, oh yeah, there you are. Nice little ticky tack. Cool. So any last pieces you guys wanted to create of our neighborhood? And of course, Adam Mini, when he joins us next week, he will be able to stick in a thing or two if he says, oh, Rich, they missed X, Y, or Z. Or if he comes to you guys and said, you guys, we forgot blah, then he can stick that in. And we can develop this in play. Like, I know this is a one shot for Adam, but the idea behind it, the streets, is that this is a living document. This is a thing that you carry around, and we can create new places as we go.
So does anybody have an idea what the name of this very obviously very planned neighborhood is?
The
Arbor
Glen.
Forest.
Arbor Forest.
Arbor Pines and Arbor Forest. It's best.
Arbor Woodway.
Oh. I think we should use Arbor Woodway. I like that. Just pushes it that little bit further.
So good. All right. Any last pieces anybody wanted to stick in? I feel like this is, oh yeah, look at how lined up they are. They're more straight. Oh yeah, you're going to do multiple? Oh, this is great. No cul-de-sacs? Come on. Everyone wants to live in a cul-de-sac.
The top part will be a cul-de-sac. Like right there. But I've got to build that out.
Give me a stuffy sounding name real quick.
Worthington? Crestmore? Oh, the Worthington Planetarium. That's great.
These last houses are worth more because they're right up against the park.
That's great. I love. It's the best neighborhood I've ever had in hitting the streets. No offense to other people who created neighborhoods, but sweet. We just have one more step, and then we're going to take our mid-game break, my friends. Now we are going to create your rivals.
Dun dun dun.
Every good team has a rival. All good super teams have a rival team who can either be villains or a different local super team. These rivals make your lives more difficult. What's the name of your rival team? There is a table where you can roll on a d6 if you so wish.
Can
You guys,
Sorry, can they be related to the gentrification front?
Maybe they work for that gentrification team. We should probably name your neighborhood too. What do we want to name it? I've got some suggestions.
Go for it.
If
you have a suggestion, go for it.
I have suggestions if you're stuck. Here we go. Valley Heights, Gate District, Whopper Valley, Bassettville, Scoville Terrace. These are previous neighborhoods. So
Whopper Valley, that sounds familiar. Did I play in a Whopper Valley with you?
You did in Gauntlet City Limits game, yeah. Way back in the day.
So this is the clubhouse that I'm putting in right now.
Nice little pentagon.
Yeah.
Satanic. That's why the gentrifiers are evil, is because they worship Satan. Happy Easter, everybody.
What's the name of our town?
Oh.
Yeah, that's
what we're on now.
Boom.
Rail
we're
stop?
in the rail stop neighborhood.
There you go. That's awesome. Fun. All right,
Yep.
So there is a gentrification group that's trying to make rail stop shine again or something along those lines.
Goodness.
These guys are going down.
I think make rail stop roll again.
Oh,
Except
yeah.
of course that they absolutely don't want to fund any more public transit. They just want to use it.
Oh my god!
Everybody needs cars. That's the way of the future.
Okay, good. Somebody's putting that in. I was like, that must be recorded. Makes the rail stop roll again. Cool. And you have the park, main. Would you call it main stop?
Main side. Because it's on the side of Main Street.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's perfect. So what's the name of your rival team? You can roll a d6 if you want to randomly determine it from my rival team name table.
The City Savers? I mean, I think they would call themselves something totally...
I love that. Yeah. They've co-opted this salvation imagery.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, and so decide a little bit about why your teams are rivals. I think we already know that they are kind of heroes for hire, right? That work for the gentrification. What do they do? Are they just a PR stunt? Oh yeah, the public gathering. The public gathering is like gathering hangout. So I think we are. Oh no, wait, it's not. Public gathering is landmark or defining place. So. I don't even know what public gathering is, honestly. It's gone. There we go.
Blam. Okay.
Yeah, so are they a PR stunt? Is there something they fight against?
I definitely think that they're a PR stunt. Maybe like an attempt at a viral marketing campaign for gentrification.
Like they do they even really have superpowers, or are they just all pretending to have superpowers? Do we know?
Don't know.
Oh, that's a good question.
But if you throw enough money at a problem, it can seem that way. I hate these guys already.
They're
Super
the
bro.
worst. I also hate them.
All right, here's the stinger. Who has a relationship with one of them?
I'll take it.
Personal-
I'll take
Right.
it.
Nice. Okay.
What's it like? Is this a family, former romantic, former business relationship you have with one of the members?
Yeah. Former
Those-
romantic from
Yeah,
my
those are two different things. If you go with family and romantic, I'll be like X card.
former romantic.
From what, like
Former-
prep school?
Definitely his time in the security industry.
Oh.
Yeah, when he was doing network incursion stuff.
Do we have a hacker v hacker situation?
Maybe, I don't know.
Nice. Good. So, who's their leader? That's old. That's old tech. Sorry about that. What do these guys have that you don't? These rivals, the city savers.
Steady
What are
financial backing.
Money. They have money.
Moolah.
I think we all know.
Yeah. Follow the
What
grind.
The fastest unanimous response.
They're barely making it work.
Head water. What weakness of theirs do you take advantage of or exploit?
Hmm.
I mean, because they're a big PR stunt, I feel like they probably do a few things to make their activities more blatant and visible than is, smart.
That's because
So, like maybe they tweet before they go out on patrol.
I like that. I was gonna say something very similar. Like, do we fly under the radar a little bit more? Like, all of our powers are pretty like chill and not super flashy.
We live in the neighborhood. They're carpetbaggers, is what they are. So
Yeah.
they swoop in to do their magic stuff, and it doesn't work because we're already there.
Do they take credit for the shit we do? How
Oh,
mad are we about that if that's true?
Real mad.
Oh man.
if Hank was a punching kind of a guy, he would punch someone over that.
You are the hands guy, man.
I am. That's true. My hands are really high.
Well, since you stepped in to say you have a romantic relationship with one of the rivals, you get to define a little bit about that person because the geek would be attracted to. So, can you give me just a brief, like, how you would describe that person to someone at a family reunion?
Oh. You mean like in terms of like visual appearance or just
Yeah,
them in
visual
general?
appearance is good enough. Like,
Uh,
it's very brief, like sentence. It doesn't need to be super defined. Or actor who would portray them.
oh, give me a second. I have an actor in mind. I just have to find a picture.
Okay, cool. We'll give you a second while you're doing that. And let's circle back around. Make sure we've got everything. You guys are the Prismatic Guardians, secret guardians over Rail Stop neighborhood, which I adore. That's such a great name. Your main rivals are the City Savers, who are nothing more than a PR stunt and a viral marketing campaign attempt, who often take credit for your successes against problems in the neighborhood. The City Savers will live stream their patrols, and the majority of the team does not live in it. But I really want one of them to be in Arbor Forest because
I mean, I want to say that their main meetup, like how we meet up at the comic shop, they meet up at the clubhouse in Arbor Forest.
okay,
Maybe we don't know that. That's just
I'm down
player,
for that. It's
player
just for
headcanon.
readers / the play group to
Yeah, player headcanon.
sounds good to me. Good. Any last touches before we take our break and then meet back up to play some?
We need to know what the comic shop's named. But
Oh,
I think
yeah,
that can be saved till after the break.
Yeah, you can unveil that after the break, Adam.
Yeah, give me the break to think about it. I've got the actress. I just have to. It's Shanina Shaikh. Oh God, I hope I pronounced that right. Probably not. I'll link an image to her in a second.
Okay.
Oh, she looks familiar. Yeah, she was in The Mummy, the ill-fated mummy.
The newest one?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'll watch that on a plane someday, but I'll never
Not
pay for
going out of your way for it?
it. Never pay for it.
Never pay for it.
It was on the plane this last time I went flying, but I had other things to watch. Did anybody see it? Was it good?
I did not.
I haven't watched a Tom Cruise movie in forever.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, folks. It is right now top of the hour. Let's take a 10-minute break. See you guys in 10. All right, I've created 2 members of the City Savers. Well, one is basically Adam's character, who gave her the super's name of the Shaker.
Oh, I love it.
Seismic control gauntlets that she uses. And then we have it's like a stain of some kind. We have Dozer, who has earth-shaping powers. He definitely has been created to be very like everyman. You know, the like he wears their designer clothes, but they're carefully faded and ripped to make them look like they're workman clothes. Who else could we have in our City Savers? It's another. Come on, Jen. Your vast store of comics knowledge. Give me another member of the City Savers. But they're NPCs, so one of them could fly.
So what are their names so far?
So far, we have the Shaker and Dozer.
Oh.
Is there Bull and Dozer?
There's got to be Bull. There's Bull now, and it has to be a female. I think it's going to be Gina Carano.
What about Valuator?
Valuator? Oh, that's crazy. What is Valuator?
Oh, wow.
Is that 2 on nose? Is that 2 on?
No, it's perfect. I love it. It's very comics.
You guys, Disney Plus being $6 and The Mandalorian, because I just looked up Gina Carano and she's in The Mandalorian. My God.
Is it only $6? That's pretty good.
$6 a month. Yeah, $5.99 a month at launch. I'm sure that it'll be $12 within 2 years.
Oh, is that what the so guys, I've been so out of it because you all know, but I was traveling a lot and then and I'm just really catching up on work.
They don't have the internet.
I saw that the Mandalorian thing was announced, but then I was like, I have no idea what that is. Is that a movie? Is that so? It's a show.
No, show.
Good.
It's a show, a Star Wars themed show on the Disney Plus network at launch.
Was that announced at like D23 or something?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. One day I'll go to that, just out of curiosity, really. I just want to.
Oh God, I can't remember the name of the director. The main guy who's heading up the show. It's the guy who played Happy in the latest Spider-Man movie.
Oh, yeah. What's his face? He directed the Iron Man movies.
Right, and also was in them. But yeah, and I can't remember his name, but I could look it up.
Favreau?
Yeah, Jon Favreau. Sounds good.
I wasn't paying attention, but I know it.
So you got it. But yeah, Gina Carano's in it as well as Carl Weathers. And in some of the previous stuff, Favreau said that IG-88 will be a character in the show. And that's all I needed. I'm so here for it. So here for it. All right. Valuator. All right, you're going to have to find me a picture for Valuator.
Girl or boy?
I don't care. You tell me.
Oh.
We have 2 girls and 1 boy on the team. This person needs to be ethnic because this is a manufactured team, so we need to have a Benetton look to them. Cool. All right, so let's open up at the Rail Stop neighborhood at Rail Stop. And I think what we have is the first scene.
How's this?
Oh, picture. Where'd you take it? Did you stick it in the?
I'm about to. My computer's just being stupid.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Where am I supposed to look? Oh, there. There's where I'm supposed to look. Nice. Yeah, I'm all about that. That's great.
You want me to edit out the text?
Oh yeah, do it. Edit out the text and make that amazing. So we start off with the first thing we see is like a heavy, like a high camera shot over the neighborhood. We see all of the aspects, the beautiful park, the well manicured arbor forests, subdivision, iron case furniture with its smokestacks billowing smoke from all of the factory work that's going on there. And then across the street from that parking lot and Mindbenders, the comics shop, the as yet unnamed comic shop.
Oh shit! No, I have a name for that. It is. Oh, come on. What did I name it? The Gygax, the Bakers, the Indie Game Makers.
You obviously make no
I
money.
really love that. Like a lot.
Good luck finding that in the Yellow Pages.
It is the Yellow Pages. So big. Sweet. So yeah, there we go. The Gygax, the Bakers, the Indie Game Makers shop, aka Geeks Home. That is such a large name. I love it. And then there are a couple of large old brick buildings that were one of them was once a tenement building back in the 40s that are directly across the street from all of you guys. And we see this large crowd that's gathered on the street. And we see that the streets, that the Broder Road has been blocked off. And there's even a news van there. And everyone is watching those two buildings. They're a good space away. And you see that there are a bunch of like warning strip and everything. And then there's a countdown from someone in a bullhorn. And then flying in is the City Savers, Valuator, Bull, Dozer, and the Shaker. And then they settle down, and Dozer and the Shaker come out very ceremoniously, and they start to level those two buildings for a brand new basically a brand new pair of or a series of buildings. It's like it's a whole integrated European style shopping and living experience in downtown rail stop. And so all the bricks start shattering and everything, and it's extremely loud. And so we cut in, and then what I'm going to do is just kind of bounce into Mindbenders and Gygax Bakers to see what the kind of general reaction is. You guys knew about this, right? There was a big public to do about it. There's a big win for the city council allowing this to take place. There was, of course, probably a write-in, or there was a petition that was started to stop this from happening, but it didn't happen, or they didn't stop it. And so when we come into Mindbender's Shroud, do you guys have any business right now because of this big to-do that's happening outside?
Oh, sure. A bunch of the millennials who don't care about it. I shouldn't even call them millennials. A bunch of the Gen Zs who do not care about this going on at all are in a couple of my escape rooms. So I'm watching them on the cameras and giving them hints when they failed to notice the obvious things that I put in front of them. Jesus. But I have a perfectly good view of what's going on from where I'm sitting. And I'm just pretty much scowling about it.
Nice. Now, do you run Mindbenders, or you just work there?
Somebody owns it, but and I'm technically not the manager, but without me, everything would crumble. I come up with the rooms, I come up with the puzzles, even though I've meticulously written down what all the steps are. Most of the managers literally can't even help the people when they get stuck. Like they're just as clueless as the people going through the rooms. So yeah, I'm there pretty much every day.
You're an uncredited designer.
Yes, I'm an uncredited designer. That's exactly correct.
Sweet. So I think, you're scowling, looking outside, and Mr. Johnson comes by, and he I gotta make sure I use the right name, right? So he says, "Hey, Coral, there's a problem with the ladies. I got a compliment or a complaint that it was backed up. Do you think you could take care of that quick for me? It's probably nothing."
I just raised an eyebrow at him.
Is that a no?
I go back to look. I go and I type something on my computer.
What do you type on your computer?
I help. I send a clue through a room
Oh,
on
okay.
the computer, and I just basically ignore his suggestion.
Like, I heard it is overflowing. Coral, do you think you could just take care of that for me?
By take care of it, do you want me to call a janitor? Is that what you were referencing? Taking care of?
It's a little tight this month. It's a little tight.
Yeah, yeah. And these shoes were at least $70, so I'm not going in there.
You don't have to stick your feet in the. Just
It's overflowing. That's what you said, correct?
right.
Right.
I
So do
think
you want me to call a janitor?
I think we've come to our first conflict, right? He is trying to cajole you, and you're trying to talk him out of it. So this is a normal. So the way that we build a die pool in this is, first of all, I'll tell you what your challenge is. This is good difficulty, so you're going to need 3 successes. Crap, we did not define team roles. I missed that step, friends. So the team role is kind of what your niche or your function on the team would be. I see that the geeks kind of put in the role of the leader. That's important because any point when you're embodying that aspect of your role within the team, even if you're not necessarily with the team, you'll get a die to start off with. So good to important. It's an important thing to kind of have in mind. And then once you have the determination of whether or not team role applies, figure out which mode you're in. If you're being normal, that means you're doing something that an everyday person could conceivably do, right? Being seen doing this thing wouldn't say, oh, that's a superhero. Being super is the thing that you do that normal people can't do. Once you determine your mode, you add that number of dice in for starting characters. It's either a 1 or a 3. Then we determine which stat is applicable. And the stat is broadly defined. There are parts of the body or tools, but they are broadly defined along your intent. So your head is for cognitive functions, your jaw is for charismatic functions, your heart is for compassion, your hands are for strength, and your feet are for speed or reaction. And then tools just cover tools. We're not doing something physically or mentally or socially, but you are using a tool in order to aid you. You add those dice in, and then you have the ability of, like, if you're using one of your powers, probably your mode was super, but if you're using either one or both of your powers, for every power that uses a 2d6 that you add to that, and you look at those total dice and you know you need evens. If you think, I don't have enough dice, take heart. If you're all by yourself, you can use your own spark, 1 for 1, and spend those to build your die pool as high as you like. If someone's with you, they can try to help you, and that teamwork allows them to spend a spark, one from teamwork from each individual member of your team, and they can give you other dice as well. Your difficulty is a 3. I'm not going to say tension is in effect, because if you fail, then guess what? You have to go clean the toilet, but you can grumble all you want. But hey, by the way, they do pay your bills. So do you have an idea for the Shroud's team role? Is she kind of the puzzle? Are they kind of the puzzle person? Strategist? Are they the snarky punk? What do you think?
So I was actually, when I was reading this, I was between a few. I was between the strategist, because she's obviously very smart, and the glue. I don't, but only because, like, she's literally between her building's literally between the 2 other buildings. But I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, you can stick one in, and then if you don't like it, you can change it later.
Okay, let's say the strategist then.
All right, cool. Do you think you're being a strategist in this moment while
No,
consulting Mr. Johnson?
no, I'm being uppity.
All right, and you're being normal, so that you start with one die from that. Sounds to me like you're trying to talk him down, right? Does that feel like what's going on here? So you add your jaw in, so now you're up to 3 dice. Are you going to use your powers here?
No.
Okay. All right. So now you have 3 dice. You need 3 successes. It does not look good for you. Do you want to spend a spark?
No, I don't. I'm
All
just
right.
gonna take it and see what happens.
All right. If you roll 3 evens, then you are successful. Otherwise, you fail. Oh,
So close.
close. Two fours and a 5. So there's a moment where he hesitates. And then we see like a panel of him handing you the plunger and you taking it reluctantly. And then we don't see what happens to your shoes because we will cut away to the Gygax and the Baker, the indie game makers. So you've known about this coming for quite a while. What precautions have you taken in preparation for this huge deconstruction that's taking place right on the other side of the street?
Well, I've put up a whole bunch of Bristol board with brightly colored bubble lettering that says, "Yes, we're still open" on it. That's really the best that I could manage, though, because budget's tight, you know.
How's business today? I mean, do you have a lot of foot traffic, or is everyone?
Yeah, you know, I've got a fair amount of foot traffic. Not a whole lot of buyers, but lots of foot traffic. I got a good feeling about today.
Nice. So a girl comes in, which of course attracts eyes, because it's a comic / game shop, and she walks up to the spinners with the single issues, and she grabs 4 comics quickly. All of them are that brand new limited mini series of the City Savers.
Mm.
And she grabs all of them and she comes up to the front and she kind of slaps them down. And
You
she says,
carry those?
maybe he didn't know he carried them. She slaps all 4 of them down. There's like one that's like a foil gloss cover, and one's the alt cover, and then there's like a Ross cover, and she kind of spreads them out. How much are these?
Well, according to the price tags on them, let's see here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 12 bucks.
Okay. Really? That's it? Okay, great, awesome. And she puts it.
Wait.
Do you have like a tip jar or something? Just put the rest in the thing. I gotta they'll sign them, right?
Wait.
Do you have a pen?
Hang on. Are you telling me that the City Savers are across the street from me?
Yeah, totally. Shaker's taking down a building right now, dude. Dozer 2, Bull ran through the building. It was insane. She is crazy strong.
Yeah, he takes the money and he sticks it in the register, shuts it. And he turns to the oldest patron of his store, the kind of like the woman who's there all the time.
Ooh.
And he's like, can you watch the shop for a few minutes?
What? She looks up. She's like hunched over the like dime box and is trying to piece together a run of an ancient comic from the 70s.
Right. Yeah. I need to step out for some air. Can you watch the shop for a minute?
You bet.
Thanks.
And she dives back in and starts just kind of picking through.
Right. And, he steps outside into the, I guess, morning air.
Yeah, and we see you walking, the girl's walking alongside you, and she's got one of the, like, oh, shoot, sorry, I have to find the slogan again. what was it? The make rail stop roll again.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got to make a rail stop roll again shirt on, and she comes up with the issues, and she's going to try to make her way over and get the attention of the city savers. What do you see them? You see Shaker. She's there. She's got her seismic control gauntlets, and she's slowly like dismantling all of the brick building. What do you do?
I uh, I walk over to the group and I start yelling, "Hey, hey! You
Oh.
can't do it like this. You're not a demo crew."
Nice. Oh, yeah, I don't think that's a die roll. I think I think Shaker's going to respond to your voice, right? She knows what Cranky Geek sounds like. So Hank, so she reaches out and she dials down one of the, like, I'm imagining it's a kind of steampunky style, right? And she has, of course, goggles on and gauntlets, right? And she turns around and she looks at you, and she move up and start kind of moving through the crowd. And the one girl with a rail stop roll again comics is like right there, and she walks right past and comes up to you, and, you know, puts her hands on her hips. What?
You can't be tearing down a building right across from me when you're not like a licensed demolition team.
I'm a certified genius, and I have a permit.
You have a permit? Who the heck gave you that permit?
Well, the City Savers Foundation and our legal team took care of that. Hank, you know, if you got on board with actual superheroing rather than running a loser shop, you'd know about this.
Whoa. Okay, we've had a customer today. That is not a loser situation.
Uh-huh. And the girl says, "Yeah, I'm the customer, see?" And she looks over, and Shaker sees, "Oh, City Saver Comics? Nice."
I'm going to have a conversation with my distributor, okay? I didn't... Can you just... And he looks around, it's like, this is clearly not safe. You've got so many people around here, and you're just running into walls and stuff. This is not a controlled demolition. I have concerns for safety.
I'm sorry, but... And she, I'll sign on your back. She's like, "Oh my God, yes." And she opens up the comic and takes out a Sharpie and starts signing her name in like big flowing letters. And she says, if you want to talk to Valuator, I'm sure that the two of you can work something out. Okay.
He pulls up his cell phone, which is an old flip phone because he can't afford a smartphone. And he punches in 411 because... Or sorry, 311, because he can't afford like a lawyer, and he doesn't really want to call his landlord right now because the rent's a little overdue. But he's like, "I will call and complain to the city if you do not stop what you're doing right now. This is unsafe."
Oh, God, please don't call the cops on us. She signed her name and does like a little like slashy thing. And yeah, I don't think that's going to rise to the level of threat that she perceives, but Vindicator or Evaluator comes over. Hey, Selena, we need to finish up here.
And yeah, and no, you don't, because you guys are not a licensed demolition crew.
Really? You handle licenses for demolition crews?
You're a superhero troop. You deal in legit construction and destruction?
Yes. We mostly can do that.
He hits dial on the 311. Okay, cool. I'm going to spend the next 2 hours on hold, and I'm going to get this shut down.
All right. So we cut away from you. And let's take a look. Where is it that did we work? Where do you? Oh, Sterling Gauntlet here. So it's halfway down the block, and so we get to see threads. So what is going on at Sterling Gauntlet? garment care while this construction.
Just seeing what you want to see. Let's see. Well, I only work part-time here at Sterling Garment Care, but I'm definitely there now. At Sterling, there's the front desk area with very open floor plan, and it's sort of a counter dividing most of the space. And in front of the counter, there's empty space and like 4 chairs lining the walls and a few big, tasteful houseplants. And then behind the counter are just snaking racks where hundreds of clothes are hanging on this, automated transfer system. It's like a conveyor belt, but, for hangers of clothes. And then in the back, there's 1, the boiler, and 2, the seamstress room. So I'm there in the seamstress room. I mean, there's also a restroom, but meh. But I'm there in the seamstress room with, clothing requests on one side and like a schedule board on another side, and big old sewing table and a bunch of supplies in front of me and sort of underneath the table. And frankly, I'm ignoring them because right now I'm using my powers to rush through the requests so that I can get done early and leave.
Really? What is it today that makes you want to get done early and leave?
I mean, the demolition.
Nervous about it or want to watch it?
I mean, I don't like it, but I want to witness it and I want to be available in case there's trouble.
Cool. So, we see you finish up and you can head out of work and pass by a couple of your coworkers and then head down the street. And you get to overhear a bit of Hank's argument with Valuator and the Shaker before they finish bringing these 2 very large buildings down. My mind is boggled by the idea of your fabric sensory powers. So,
spandex, lycra, more spandex.
so much spandex.
A DWR layer. Kevlar. Huh. So yeah, I come up next to Hank and I'm like recording the remains of the demolition with my phone, and I'm like, I reach into my pocket, and so outside of the view of anybody inside of my pocket, I create a little dust mask and then put it on, and then I make another one and hand that off to Hank.
That's so awesome. Dust mask.
Hank takes the mask and puts it on, but kind of keeps it off to the side so we can listen to the hold music. Like, this is not right. They should not be here. But it's all muffled. This is not right. They should not be here.
I mean, it's cloth. You can talk through it pretty easily.
Right.
I know. Why do they have to turn this into such a circus?
Because that's what they do. They're just here to make it look pretty. They're not even doing it correctly. There's no cordoning. People can just walk up to them while they're tearing stuff down.
I mean, there is this warning tape.
Sure.
I hate to dunk on your argument because I too hate what's going on, but
shouldn't they have, like, fencing or something to keep people out? Not a vague suggestion.
Shakers return to her work, and Valuator's now ignoring the two of you, as it seems that Chris has distracted the one irritant they had in their big show here.
yeah, there should probably be more distance because, dust. There's a lot of unsafe stuff in buildings.
Yeah.
I doubt that they tore it out before they did this. What, out of character, what did these buildings used to be?
One of the buildings used to be a tenement building. The other building was I'm gonna say it was like a furniture display store in like the 20s, but then it just fell into disrepair and it's kind of been an eyesore. Just missed being a city landmark at one point, but never kind of crossed over the threshold and just sat unused. I think, Coral, you come outside of the escape room about this time. Your shoes are wet, but you finished your work.
That's just tragic.
Yeah.
It is. It smells. Not as bad as this shit, though. Looking up at all the dust and crud and mold.
It crumples and falls down. Does that thing where, like, it falls all in one spot and all kinds of dust comes up and people give out a big excited cry and the clatter.
Yeah, it smells like black mold. Gross.
That sounds very bad. Should we be out here?
I put my phone away and I start like double fisting making some dust masks. And I had one to Coral and I had another one to, the little girl with
Comics.
Yeah.
With the comics.
Signed comics. She got Valuator's. I got Valuator's name too. It's not as big as Shakers, and that's probably perfect. Thank you.
Yep.
And then she puts it on her head like it's some kind of hair bow or something.
No. I move it to her mouth.
I just worked on this lipstick.
Yeah, that's okay.
You can do it again, honey. It's just
your life.
There are a lot of things in buildings, especially particularly old buildings, that can be very unsafe to breathe.
Like asbestos.
We're so literal. We're like so. We're such an infomercial right now.
And the second building, which is the one that sat for many, many, many years unattended and unloved, you hear, as the three of you are talking, you hear a female scream and it sounds like it's coming from the building.
Did they even check inside?
I jump over the cordon.
Yeah, I'm reaching into my messenger bag for Sheila.
Is there a shadow somewhere that, like, under a tree?
Shadows. Yeah, there's lots of dust and just shadows.
Cool. I step under a shadow and enter the building.
Okay, cool. So I think you're trying to move ahead of everybody. I'll say that this is a good difficulty for you to pull off this movement power. While you guys are all springing into action, you hear Dozer calling out loud, like, I heard somebody scream. I thought you guys cleared the building. And he looks angrily over at a few guys in construction hats and they're like, what? We don't know. We don't know. And it looks like he is going to start trying to, he stopped demoing the building and will slowly be moving towards the building as well. But you guys have a jump on them. Let's see if you reach You're going to shadow your way into the building there, Shroud? Let's do that. You're definitely being super. Are you meeting your team role as the strategist? I don't think so.
No, we didn't really talk. I just
Leapt to action. It's movement related, so feet feels right for me. So you're being super plus feet, that's 6 dice, and then you're using your super movement power. So that's 8 total dice. Your difficulty is good or 3. Tension is in effect because this building might fall on you. That could hurt. You're rolling 8 dice. Now, lest you think, oh my God, if I roll 8 ones, I'm doomed, there is a safety valve in this game. The difficulty of your action is the max amount of spark you could lose from rolling ones, which in this game we call oofs. So you are looking for evens. You're currently rolling 8 dice. Do you want to add any spark to help your odds against that difficulty of 3?
no, I feel like this is fairly
I'd
hopefully.
like to help if I can.
Okay, fantastic. What
Ooh.
does it look like when you help her move into the building quickly?
So I haul out Sheila, slap it on my wrist, find the nearest cable connection, and just start sifting through the CCTV feeds to see if I can find exactly where that screaming woman is,
Nice.
and then guide her along.
I like it. Good. So that will give you a 9th die. So go ahead and roll 96 or 9D in the game's vernacular. Oh, I see 2 oofs, but I see more than 3 successes. So what does the shadow power look like, Shroud?
When I step into the shadow, like I said, my hair turns black, but really like all of me turns sort of smoky and shadowy, and then I just sort of meld into it and then meld back out.
Nice. And where, with that number of successes, you can tell me, where do you end up within the building?
So if he gives me a where he sees the woman, I'm going to get as close as I possibly can to her.
Fantastic. So you pop through a couple of shadows in the building. We see there's tons of, like, where this place used to be a factory. There's a lot of old, rusted, dusty equipment, glass jars, all kinds of stuff. You pop through there, you go up a couple of levels because as the geek triangulated, it was up on the top floor. And when you pop all the way up to the top floor, you see that you hear it again, that scream, and then you see that there is like a recorder. It's like a speaker that is letting off that sound.
Seriously. Part of me is just like, should I just let it keep going? Oh, darn it. I pick up the recorder, stop it.
Oh, it's a speaker. It's like a Bluetooth speaker.
Like a speaker.
Mhm.
I look around to see, do I see a camera?
Why, yes, you do see there's a little camera that's focused in on here.
I like give the camera sort of a, what the hell are you doing? Flick it off. Crush the like, don't crush the speaker. I actually don't have the ability to do that. Hold the speaker and then shroud back out.
We need that speaker. It's
No,
evidence.
I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing
Okay,
it.
good.
So, Threads, you had leapt into the place. You saw Shroud kind of shadow jump ahead of you.
Yep.
So you get the sense that there is at least one person here in the building, and based on your overall feelings, they are here on the first floor. But you also sense, and I'm not going to make you roll for it unless you want to get more specifics, but you also sense there's someone ahead of you and above you, kind of by the movement. You would guess it would be Shroud.
Yeah, I mean, sort of chopping in and out.
Why use
Well,
feet?
I'm gonna head to the person on the first floor, but while I do it, I'm going to reach out and see if I can find any asbestos. It's interesting. I think this is kind of stretching my powers, because although asbestos is a mineral, it's naturally fibrous. And in order to be used, it often gets made into a fabric-like form.
I think I'm okay using this power for asbestos.
Okay, cool. So I feel like this is being super.
Yep.
So that's 3. And I'm definitely using one of my powers. I'm kind of using both of my powers, but
yep.
I'm just going to toss in 2. There's nothing very con artisty about this.
You know that if this is a con, you know a con when you see it.
Well, I don't think that a con would have anything to do with these.
Right, because this is, I see.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with this
if there is any.
A good difficulty as well.
Okay.
I just don't think it's something you would hide asbestos, but a good difficulty gives you the breadth of how bad it is, as well as locations.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And I think this is probably a head.
I would agree.
Subject, so that's 7. And I'm going to spend a spark on this to bring it up to an 8.
All right.
Dang. All right then. So I didn't get any 1s.
Okay.
And I got 6 paps.
Oh, wow. That is incredible. You have control over fabrics, right?
Yeah.
So not only do you have the full breadth of knowledge of exactly how much, hint, it's a lot, asbestos there is here, you have control over it. Like, with that many successes, you could do something with all of that stuff.
All right. I'm going to basically consolidate its mass into a tidy, not fraying into the air ball beside me. So like bits and pieces of it just sort of flow towards me into that ball. It just keeps growing until it's the size that it's going to be, as I search for this person on the first floor.
Nice. Cool. So, Geek, you helped Shroud figure out where things were, and then you saw Threads run past you into the building. What are you doing?
So then I guess I found where that location is, right?
Uh-huh.
I think I've done all I can do here at the moment. I'm starting to think that maybe, well, no, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure that they can get out okay. I'm going to watch the closed circuit television to make sure that they can actually leave without getting crushed.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So you're trying to watch after Shroud to make sure that they, and I'm sorry, I think I've used the wrong gender a couple times, and I apologize for that. Okay.
So yeah, that, and also just make sure that they're not going to get intercepted by someone.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, I think then there needs to be someone who is going to try to intercept them, right? I think Dozer is headed in.
Yeah.
Right? He told everybody. So now he's going in. Threads is run ahead. Shroud's run ahead. but he has cleared the space after yelling some of the workers, the construction workers who were supposed to make sure that people weren't in the building, and now he's coming in to save whoever this is, and Bull is behind him. And they are determined to go in. I imagine you've kind of finagled your way on the other side of the strip tape to keep the warning caution tape and the like. So what are you doing, Geek?
Can I record where he's going for evidence later?
Sure. Are you doing this? You're doing like open and obvious. There's no role. You just record it unless he does something about it. But if you want to try to do it surreptitiously, I think you'd need to be a little sneaky.
Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to have to do. Sneaky. Right. Don't want to get caught.
Yeah, I think Dozer and Bull know you mostly because the Shaker has told them about it. He's a loser. He used to be something special, but
Right.
So I think they will make this a little more difficult. So I'm going to say it's going to be remarkable for neither of them to see you quietly recording them. Of course, there are people recording like past the caution tape, but you're close enough to see and hear them talking, maybe catch something not great. So the difficulty is remarkable, and if they catch you, they will beat the daylights out of you where people can't see. So tension is in effect.
Yeah, I was afraid you were going to say that. Okay, so am I being the leader? We will mess them up. Yes, we will. Am I being the leader? Not in particular. I don't feel like I'm leading the team.
Okay.
And this is, I mean, I'm using my gadgetry and I'm using my training to do this, right? Like, I don't want anyone to know what's going on.
Yes, you can double up on powers because we're thinking broader, right? This isn't a task resolution system. So if you want to use both powers, and that's why I actually during thread successful roll said, hey, and it sounds like you're controlling this as well.
Right.
Just to clarify.
Cool. So then, what do you think this is? In terms of, I think I'm using my tools here.
Yeah, I think tools makes a lot of sense here because you're using your tools.
Yeah.
Yeah. So go with that.
Now the question of whether I'm being normal or super comes up.
Honestly, the recording somebody is something that anyone could do, right? That's part of our thing. So do you feel that it's being normal?
I think so.
I think so too. And it's important to me in this game that you get to make some be normal rolls.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, everyone puts 3 in be super and they never question why. So yeah, can be normal with this. And the highly trained power is the one that's easiest to roll be normal with. And the gadgetry that you're using as long as it's not big obvious.
Yeah.
Then I'm totally cool with this.
So I think I'm at 5B to start.
Be normal and tools 5 to start. You add your powers in, so that adds you 2 + 2 more, 9.
Okay.
It's 4.
I'm gonna add 1 from my spark as well, so that brings me down to a 9.
And you're rolling a total of 10 dice.
Yeah. ND6. Submit. Oh.
A lot of evens. In fact,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 evens.
1 odd and 2 ones, so 3 odd. But yeah, cool. So you're going to take 2 spark worth of damage. This doesn't have to be they see you and hit you, because you are super successful at surreptitiously recording them.
Right.
But there's something about it that cause some stress, or perhaps you, in moving around, hurt yourself, because it is a construction site and a lot of things have fallen. So you get to tell me how you get hurt, but I'll tell you what you record and overhear. And yeah, go ahead.
So I think in terms of getting hurt, in order to get access to the closed circuit television, I have to like get inside the building, which means I like, get all scraped up. And then on top of that, when I jack into the closed circuit TV, part of the wire has been like contacted with high voltage. So I get a zap the first time, and then I ground it and try again, and everything works.
Nice. Cool. So Dozer and Bull come in. They don't see you recording them. And Bull says, "Where's she at?" Dozer says, "First floor, like we planned." And she says, "All right, I got it. Hey, speaker stopped. I'll take care of it," Dozer says. And Bull is headed towards the back. She's shoving a bunch of things out of the way, making a bunch of clatter. Threads. We jump forward to you as you enter the place. You move through the main area of the factory floor, and there is a storage room where you see there is a woman who's tied up with fabric.
Well, clearly I've got to fix that.
She appears to be unconscious, and she's like got a gag around her mouth, and her hands are tied behind her back. So yeah, you're able to easily untie her. That's just like a thing you can do with your powers, because it's a rope. Your threads.
Cool. I untie her. I actually use the rope to make kind of a hammock chair kind of thing to carry her out. About how damaged is this building? Would it be easier for me to just go straight through in some damaged places and faster, or?
Well, it's not like there's a lot of drywall here. It is an older brick building. You could maybe just try to go out an outer wall, because you're in a storage room, so you could go through a window if you wanted. There's a damage of risk of getting cut and the like, but might be the best way to make an egress. You also hear someone coming towards you.
I mean, if it's a risk of me getting cut, does that risk transfer to this woman that I've just rescued?
It does, unless you do something to protect her.
Well, I have a whole lot of asbestos that I have total control over.
Yeah.
So I could make a tunnel through the window out of the asbestos and just sort of shoot us through it.
That sounds amazing. So doing that, keeping her safe, and doing it in time before Bull walks in on you, I'm going to say is pretty remarkable. And tension is in effect, because the moment Bull sees you with the person with that person, Bull going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Cool. So as you're starting to build that pool, I'm going to slip back up to Shroud. So you grab that speaker, Shroud, and when you, I assume, come back down towards the stairs, because it's pretty sunny outside, but in the building it's easy for you to move shadow to shadow. Right. You see Geek and Dozer, and then you also see Bull heading towards a back room. What are you doing, Shroud?
So wait, where do I see Geek and Dozer?
So Dozer at this point is headed up the stairs. Like he's going to make his way quickly up to where you just came from.
Right.
I imagine you were trying to do some closed circuit stuff, so maybe you're near the front? I'm not sure. I don't know where a closed circuit would be hooked up in an old building. So
what was I doing? I'm sorry.
Grab the speaker, and then I assume you just wanted to leave unless you wanted to hang out.
Yeah, to leave and be like, this is what's making the noise. So I'm out, is what you're saying. I'm out, and I'm watching.
Out. I'm saying that on your way out, you see Geek, you pass by Dozer, but kind of melt into a shadow, I imagine. So I'm just trying to get a picture of like, are you just going to continue out?
Well, can I actually use my mental powers on Dozer and try to figure out if he has any memories as to what is going on with the speaker?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So why don't you start to build that? I'm going to bounce back to threads as you are building this asbestos tunnel through the window. So definitely being super. You cannot talk me into being normal on this one.
Oh, no. I'm not going to try.
Are you a con artist, though?
Is this a con? I mean, technically, I'm stealing a victory from somebody.
I'm good with that.
All right.
So con artist is 1. You're being super. That's 3 more for 4. What do you think you're doing? Are you shaping things with your hands? Are you using your mental abilities? So it's your head that's creating this tunnel. What do you think? From a stat.
I mean, goodness, I could see an argument for hands or feet or tools or head. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it would be interesting to see it roll with like hands, because you're effectively shaping and creating this thing. Is that?
I don't really think that I'd be using my hands to do it.
Well, no, I don't think you were actually literally.
But it's that shape.
Okay. Yes. So strength, hands covers strength functions: lifting, punching, moving, grappling. Head covers cognitive functions, so perception, deduction, reasons, and thought. That's why really is the intent is trying to create something strong enough to hold you guys. So lean towards hands, but head also feels like it could work here as well. And then last thing is, if you consider the asbestos a tool, right? If the intent is just you're trying to create a shunt to get you the heck out of Dodge, then tool can work as well. It's a flexible system, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no. I think that I'm using the asbestos as a tool.
Okay. All right. So that gets you up to 7 dice.
And then also I'm using a power.
Yep, you're using a power, so you're up to 9.
Yep.
Your difficulty is remarkable 4. Tension is in effect. Do you want to add any spark to it?
Yeah, I'll add 1 spark.
You're up to 10.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Just 4 POWs and 2 oofs.
Okay, so with 4 POWs, you are successful. With the 2 oofs, you take a bit of damage. So how do you imagine that you lose 2 spark during this overall effort?
I think it's a lot harder to shape the asbestos than I thought, and also to keep it contained in itself so that it doesn't, break off the fibers. They're so weirdly delicate, actually. And I'm just like, oh man, shit, I should have doped this with something, but I didn't really have time. Fuck.
Nice. Do you pick the girl up and is she over your shoulder kind of thing? Or you're like, when you go through the shop, because Bull is going to see you, right? You get out, but you just get out. So Bull's going to see you. But what does Bull see as you make your exit out of this place with the unconscious woman?
I think it's just an over the shoulder. So, he sees some of my finely coiffed blonde hair as I slide down.
Nice. And Bull sees that and realizes, oh, shit. And Bull's going to try to get the hell out of Dodge. So let's circle back to Geek, because you've got the recording. You've just recorded Bull going through. Imagine You also have Dozer heading up the stairs. And then, what are you doing? You're muted, by the way. Adam, you're muted.
Well, first of all, I set that video to go upload straight to YouTube.
Okay, there you go.
And while that's going, I'm getting the hex out of Dodge.
All right. Well, start to head out of Dodge. You see the Shaker is walking this way. She's going to spot you unless you hide.
I'm not going to hide. I'm not going to bother hiding. I'm just going to run.
Sweet. So, yeah, you come out. The Shaker says, Hank, what are you doing? It's really dangerous in there.
Is it?
She seems nervous. Yeah. What?
Well, we should get out of here.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. And she's going to reach and try to pull you out of there. And you see her like saying something into her gauntlets there. Tara, we had Shroud trying to pierce into the mind of Dozer. So I think the Dozer is unfortunately not quite your equal opponent. This is merely a good difficulty to read his thoughts and understand and use your psychic abilities on him. So you need 3 successes.
So am I going to roll 8 then against that 3 again? Or
let's see. You be super, and you're using your head and that power. So yeah, it would be 8 against the 3. Now, let me ask you a question about your power. Is there any chance for feedback? Like, should there be tension involved as you try to invade other people's thoughts?
So I can sometimes see stuff I don't want to see, or like be impacted with things I don't want to be impacted by.
So it sounds like there is some tension involved in this role. Cool. I like it. I'm going to be bold.
All right.
So let me clear out these dice, the green ones. All right. So you're rolling 8 dice. You want to spend any spark? Difficulty is 3.
Nope, I'm gonna let it play.
All right. Let's see how it goes. Your difficulty is 3, and you got exactly 3. Not.
I got 4.
Sorry. Yes, you got 4, and I'm totally going to steal an idea from the chat. First, you find that Dozer is frantically heading up there to get the speaker and destroy it because he thinks that this terrible idea of saving someone from the building has gone awry, and he's worried about this thing he didn't want to go in on anyway. He's going to get everyone in deep, deep trouble. Also, he has a crush on you. Yeah, so he's thinking about that this is how Dozer thinks, that cute girl from the escape room. There's no way that she's going to be impressed if I'm fingered for this bunch of crap. And so he's
okay.
His way up.
So they have a crush on Coral, not a crush on Shroud.
Correct.
Okay.
The cute girl with the rainbow hair.
So wait, okay, so I know who Dozer is in real life then. Or
yeah, he doesn't have a secret ID.
No, they don't have secret identities. Okay.
I mean, he's worn Albies, but like he goes by Dozer when he's dozing, but yeah, he's very open about his superness.
Cool. All right. Gross. But do I see who sort of crafted the plan? Like whose idea this plan was?
Yeah, it's Valuators.
Valuators?
It's at least Valuators the one who's telling them what to do.
What to do. Oh, gross. Okay. With that, I will shroud all the way out and just shadow walk back.
Sweet. Okay. So Thread, you get out, and Shroud, you get out, and then Hank, you exit with the Shaker, and yeah, I think we've got just enough time here to figure out how you guys are going to, like, are you going to meet back up again? What are you doing with the woman, the unconscious woman? So let's try to move towards a wrap up because I'd like to do some feedback near the end.
Well,
here.
is the woman thing sort of like, it's very public, right? Like she's leaving a building as Thread with a woman in her arms.
Well, so let me ask you, Jen, in your mind's eye, was this like an exit that was going out the side, or was it going out the back towards the parking lot that's adjacent and heads towards the Iron Case Furniture Factory?
I think it's out the side.
Okay, out the side.
Mhm.
So yeah, it would be relatively public then, right? Is that what you?
Yeah, no, I think that it would not be difficult to spot Threads like doing this.
Yeah. So we hear like, "Hey, look!" And people,
And I'm
all the people were gathered around. Yeah.
and I'm definitely suited up as Threads.
Nice. Good call. So yeah, as Thread, you come around and people are, what's going on? Hey, there was a woman who was tied up in there. And yeah, then the news cameras are coming around and like trying to get footage of what's going on. Reporters are going to come up and try to ask what.
Before any of the reporters have a chance to rush up, I deputize somebody to be like, call an ambulance right now. Does anybody have any first aid expertise? Anyone?
Comic book girl raises her hand. I've had like some classes and stuff.
Come on.
I was like a Girl Scout, and yeah, she'll come up and start trying to help. And then there are people who are standing around, like checking their phones, and one guy's like, "Oh, Dit, check this out!" And yeah, sure.
So when I snap back and I see her leave the building, I pull up my hood and put on my mask. I assume you've made us all masks at this point.
Stylish masks, I would hope.
You guys.
Stylish mask. So I pull up my hood, put on my mask. My hair is all black, and I shadow in near or next to her, and I hold up the speaker, which I'm guessing is still making the sound of a screaming woman, and just like, this was in the building. Someone has framed this entire operation.
Oh yeah, people are eating it up. They're like, "What?" You're like, "Yeah, check it out, YouTube. It's Bull and it's Dozer." And then people are coming around, and eventually we have the gurney come out, and they all start moving, transferring this girl who's, I'm going to say she's like the daughter of a city councilman, college age daughter of a city councilman, and a council selectman, because that phrase just cracks me up.
Wow. And yeah, I assume that Shroud probably found a nice shadow in the shade of the happy fun ball of asbestos that I've still got collected. About how
I fell out of.
what's the height of it? I think how much?
Like 12 feet.
God damn. So yeah.
It was very well insulated.
I look at it and I'm like, that is a thing.
Yeah, there was a lot of asbestos in this building that wasn't audited before they started to bring it down.
We should probably talk to the council selectmen about that.
It's like cameras that are getting all of this conversation that you guys are going, and yeah, evaluate. I think Dozer, Bull, Valuator, and the Shaker are all in a great deal of hot water. And so we have just like a couple minutes. Where's the last scene of the comic here? What do we see the three of you guys?
Are we at the hang giraffe? Can we be there?
Yeah, I gotta be at the giraffe.
Awesome. So yeah, we see the three of you in your supers as you're doing that last one there. The very next panel is the three of you, but in normal, citizen attire at the hanged giraffe. So we get to have that shot going on. And you have up on the television, the local TV network showing the report of what's going on, and it's talk of the hanged giraffe. All the people, did you hear those idiots? Man, city savers, huh? Yeah, right. And then there's all of a sudden the City Savers Foundation legal team was prepared a statement, and they're trying to massage this and working the PR angle of all the things, and lots of denials that are going on.
Yep. And I just, hold up my beer and like toast
Yep.
with my
I was gonna say
teammates.
the last scene has to be us toasting.
Nice. Cool. So there is an end of session aspect to this game, which is how we mark out the experience points of the game. So there is a series of questions. Some of them are for the group. And if the answer is yes, then the whole group gets 1 experience point. Others are individual. And if you answer yes for your character, you get an experience point. The first one is, did you clash with someone who threatened your neighborhood?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. So then this is an individual thing. Hank, did you struggle with your normal day-to-day obligations?
I don't think so, because I kind of made a sale today
You may
for something that was supposed to be free.
That's true. And you handed off running the business to Dolores.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
So yeah, Dolores probably made 4 or 5 sales. Because,
Dolores is good.
Dolores,
I don't know why she's not running the shop.
Dolores she moves product. Threads, did you struggle with your day-to-day obligations?
I don't really think I did.
I would agree. And then last but not least, Shroud, did you struggle with your normal day-to-day obligations?
I definitely did.
I would completely agree, because you're the one I pushed hardest on. Group, did you avoid open warfare that endangered regular civilians at least once?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then individual, we'll start with Shroud. Did you support another teammate when they needed you?
Yeah, I think at the end.
Okay, I'm good with that. Threads, did you support another teammate when they needed you?
I mean, I feel like I kind of backed up Hank a little bit in the beginning.
Yep, that's where I was. That was where I was thinking that happened. And then the geek is really easy because you actually literally did teamwork, so that's a yes for you. So that's another XP for all 3 of you. And then the last one is: did you defeat a villain or have a conflict with your rival? The answer, of course, is
yes.
So that means that everyone got between 4 to 5 XP. And the way that XP is used is based on what you're trying to raise, you can upgrade your mode, which is be normal or be super, by present level times 5. You can upgrade any of your stats by using a present level times 3. It will go up by 1. And if you wanted to buy a new power, that's 10 XP. You can buy a new power. And that's the way the XP part goes. I did actually build into this game the feedback tool that I most often like to use. So that is what we'll do at the end here. But this is good enough for our recording. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and then we'll do a quick debrief at the end, and I'll let you guys go. Thank you all so much for playing and giving this a shot.
Thanks for running.
Yeah, thanks.